I don't know. Today is just kind of one of those crazy days. So yeah, so hello and welcome and greetings to you from I-10 westbound in Florida. Somewhere, let's see, west of Jacksonville. Looks like mile marker, mile 322. That's not good. Yeah, motors ahead and everything else. Boy, I'm telling you, it's been just a heck of a day today. And it's just noon 10 Florida time. Quick check-in here for you, I suppose. We got Tuesday, November 24th. As I said, it's about noon 10 in the PM. I guess there wouldn't be any other. And temperature outside of 73 degrees. Beautiful out here in Florida today. And it's like, I don't know, maybe something's trying to tell me something. Maybe the gods are trying to tell me I should just stay at the East Coast again. Or something, I don't know, because it's just, I don't know. Another one of those kind of trips here where just little delay after little delay after little delay, and it changes the whole nature of your haul. So let's see, let's go back in time here. Take a trip back in time with me, shall we? Where did I leave off last? I left off, I think, where I pulled into a Love's and scaled in and was overweight by 2,990 pounds. So basically 3,000 pounds, right? So the place where I got loaded closed at 3 or 3:30. So I ended up having to just spend the night at that Love's. I couldn't, you know, continue on this haul because I'm overweight. So 6 a.m. rolls around, my alarm's going off because I need to be back over at the shipper by 7:30. So I roused myself up. Actually got great sleep last night, which was incredible. And there's a story to that too, even. If, you know, there can't be such a thing, but there is. So I get over to the shipper 7:30, and they were expecting me. You know, the boss had called ahead and let them know. So they were expecting me. So they had all my paperwork and the new seal prepared for me and all that. And you know, back up, and they basically pulled one pallet off. Right? They originally put 13 pallets on. They took one off, left me with 12. And so off I go. Head back over to Love's, and I had actually kind of reset my tandems in anticipation for having that weight removed, and got over there and scaled up, and I actually wound up being a little bit over on what was it on my think here. I guess on my drives, and I forget. I was over on my drives or on my tans. I don't remember which one. So I went ahead and basically put them back one notch past where I had them originally, and I wound up still over by like, not much, like 70 pounds or something, but I still had plenty of shift room for it. And so I moved them back one notch again, and now I think I put them, and then I put them back basically where they were originally when I was perfectly balanced yesterday. And so there you go. So I basically left it at that. I didn't bother getting a third ticket. And so the thing is, and let me back up again. So yesterday, when I first arrived at the shipper, before I went and got, before they, directed me to a dock, they mentioned something, and it's the first time any shipper's ever mentioned this to me, and it was just, I kind of just, I caught it, I caught what he said, but I just didn't really think too much of it, because I was like, well, yeah, of course. Well, so what he said, he goes, make sure your airbags are inflated on your trailer. And I was like, okay, you want my tandems back too? He's like, yeah, go ahead and put your tandems back. And so that's kind of how that got lost, because I just assumed they were inflated, because why wouldn't they be, right? So anyways, so I did all that stuff that I just explained, got weighed in, I was overweight, spent the night at Lowe's, blah, 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 got the thing taken off, scaled back up, and then so what I did notice today it was actually before I left the shipper today, after they took that pallet off. When I was adjusting my tandems while I was still at the shipper, I noticed my airbags weren't inflated. Of course, right? And so I'm like, huh, that's weird. Wow, what's this? And this is what I was talking about. Wow. Okay, that's what I was talking about. There was a sign back there that said crash in like 10 miles. Anyhow, and I'll explain in a minute. But so, my airbags were inflated, and it's like, huh. And I mean, that's just goofy beans that the guy just yesterday told me to make sure my airbags were inflated. And I look at them today, and they're not inflated. I mean, they're completely flat, all four of them on the trailer. I'm like, wow, that's not good, so sent a message to the boss to let him know, because I was like, if they're uninflated, I mean, I thought they were just automatically inflated. I thought they were like auto inflate. That's what I just expected. I expected that they were like always at a particular pressure. And well, so I sent a message to the boss. Oh, and then that's the other thing too, when I got there, was that my airlines that were running to my trailer, to my tandems, they kind of hang underneath the trailer, and they're designed to have a bunch of slack in them so you can adjust your tandems back and forth on your trailer. So like if your tandems are set all the way forward on your trailer, you have all this crazy extra slack on your airlines, and then there's an electrical line down in there too. And if your tandems are all the way back to the end of your trailer, they're tight, right? So it all that slack is brought back out. So they do, they'll hang down, right? Well, so I got there today at the shipper, and when I parked, so I could go walk in and say, hey, I'm back, and recheck in, I looked, and it just caught my eye, and I saw that they were hanging all the way down underneath and touching the ground, and it actually worked themselves and scraped themselves to the point where the electrical line that's down there, it actually scraped itself off completely and disconnected from itself. But the airlines were still in good condition, thank God. So I'm like, well, that's not good. I check all my lights, and my trailer lights are all working. And hop back in the cab after they took that pallet off, and well, the ABS lights on. Okay, so that's what those are. Those are the lines for your ABS lights, or for your ABS system, right? And because what it turned out that there was four, inside this one large kind of like extension cord kind of conduit, are four separate electrical lines, right? Wires. So that makes sense. So one per hub for your brakes. Okay. So when I got back to Love's after I scaled and all that stuff, I went ahead and parked, and and bought some basically some butt connectors for them. I would have preferred getting wire nuts, but they didn't have any. So I got some butt connectors, repaired that, and okay, good to go. But so it basically, what I'm getting at is, after I had sent the thing to the boss, I sent him a video saying, hey, the airbags are uninflated, you know, nobody's ever shown me how to inflate them. You know, like it's something I got to do manually, you know. So the message he sends back to me, after I just get back underway, after I completed repairing the electrical line, getting scaled and getting everything balanced and all that stuff, right, involved, as soon as I get back out and I'm leaving Love's, here comes his message. Oh, make sure all the trailer lights are working, and go ahead and inflate the airbags. And that's all it says. It's like, well, go ahead and inflate them. I mean, I would infer from that, again, that that's something that I need to do manually, right? So I'm like, you know what, to hell with it. Everything's good. The airbags, I'm scratching my head on. And so I just got to continue underway. I'm already on the road at that point. And I'm like sitting there thinking about it for a while. I'm like, you know, I probably better look into that a little bit more, right? Because that's probably not a great thing. If your airbags are just uninflated, and I got 44,000 pounds back there, I probably need to investigate. It's probably just something I ought to do, you know. And I go and I look up a video on YouTube, and there's this one, and it's kind of beating around the bush, and I'm not getting any information out of it. So I go ahead and I find myself a TA, you know, off of I-10 here, and go ahead and pull in and back into a slot, and looked up YouTube a little bit more, and you gotta love YouTube. I mean, it's a wealth of information. I found the video I needed to find, and it basically explained how this automatic, it's basically, there's this regulator back there that an airline feeds into, and then that feeds into each of the airbags, each of the 4 airbags, and it's an automatic air regulator with like this arm, with an elbow, with another arm, and then that fixes onto a fixed position. And so the way it works is kind of like in a toilet. You know, when toilets flush and they have the floater in there, which tells the water when to shut off and when to shut on, when to turn on, when to shut off, right? It's dependent on how full the water gets, right? So when the water gets too full, it shuts off. It's the exact same kind of principle, concept. And, well, so what happened was, with this little arm back there, one of the bolts had sheared off. And so it was set in the position of basically empty tank and no water, and it's not going to fill up. And so I went ahead and I tinkered with it, and it started filling up as soon as I moved the switch up. So I figured out pretty quickly what needed to be done to fix it. And so I you know, sent another video to the boss. I sent a couple more to him, and I was like, hey, you know, I don't know what's going on here, but, you know, I pulled this bolt out, and this thing's been sheared off for years. I mean, these bags haven't been inflated for who knows how long. You know, and I'm the first one that noticed it. I'm like, man, you know. So anyways, the point is that I went ahead and I got it fixed. And went and scaled again, because that's going to change, like, it's basically got like a fulcrum back there. Your tandems are like a fulcrum back there. That's why you can slide them up and forwards and backwards on the trailer to balance the weight between the tandem, between the trailer tires and the drive tires on the tractor. And so, well, yeah, so sure enough, you raise up the back end of the trailer or anything from where it was, and it's going to shift that weight even more on the drives. So I went and scaled again, and sure enough, it did, and it put more weight on my drives. However, I'm exactly perfect on my drives. I'm exactly at 34,000 pounds on my drives. so I'm still legal. I didn't need to change the tandems, but so it's like all these stupid little dumb delays, and then there was something else too. What was it? There was something else. All these, whatever it was, I don't remember right now, but you know, so basically, whereas I should have been able to just get on the interstate and start driving to Missouri. Basically, like if I got that thing taken off at 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:15, be done at the scale and get back underway, right? After all that stuff, here it is, and it's noon, and I still have 1,130 miles to drive. You know, and there goes my early start for the day. So it's just funny. I don't know. So then I'm cruising along I-10 here, and and that was the other thing. That's what it was as soon as I got back, like as soon as I got done, I got scaled again at the TA after repairing now the electrical thing, and now after repairing the airbag actuator, and did scaling. I'm pulling out of the TA. Basically, here we go. I'm getting back underway. Here comes a phone call from the boss. Hey, by the way, make sure you tighten up this. And I'm just like, dude, it's done. It's done. I'm not stopping. That's it. What he was concerned about was the airlines underneath the trailer. He was concerned because one of the videos I showed him, you know, and they're hanging down, but they're supposed to be hanging down. That's the way they're designed to be. He's like, oh, you need to tighten them up a little bit higher. It's like, no, they're where they're supposed to be. You know, I'm pulling out right now, you know. We're too late, you know, too late. It doesn't need it in the first place, but you could have called me 30 minutes ago and brought it up when I sent the message, instead of waiting till the very moment when I'm pulling out to call me, to the point where it's like, well, the only thing that I could do now at that point would be pull back out into traffic, go find a place to turn around, go back over to the TA, find a place to park again, get out of, you know, it's like, so now that would be another half an hour, right? Just to go raise something up that doesn't even need to be raised. So pretty funny the way things work. And then there's this, you know, so then I'm on I-10, and then there's a digital sign saying, oh, by the way, there's a crash 10 miles up ahead. You know, there may be a detour or something, but it didn't turn out that way. Whatever that was, it looked like a you know, regular four-wheeler truck with a construction or a travel trailer had gone off the side of the shoulder there and flipped over at the bushes. I don't know if it showed up in the video or not, but that's what it was. And it was not blocking any lanes, so that's good for me, not for them. It's not good for them at all. Hope they're okay. So, anyhow, I don't know. Just one of those kind of things. It's like, man, all you want to do is get going, and all everything else wants to do is keep you holding, keep you still, keep you doing nothing, I guess. Funny. So we are now 75, I-75 north, and we're going to be, well, running up back through Georgia and Atlanta, and wow, we have all that to look forward to. And I have 9 hours of drive time left for the day. So yeah, so that's the deal. So anyways, I guess I'll wrap this one up. It's gotten kind of a little bit long here. So anyhow, I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you somewhere up the road. See ya.